All right, after a couple attempts of maneuvering this curve here of the cabinet, I was able to get it in. A little tight, might need a couple hammers, and these cables are too tight, so I'm gonna loosen them. It's not allowing the panel to go more in. And like I said, these were here just to keep them away from the ground. So I'm just gonna give a little bit of feed, enough that allow the panel to go in. Put it back in because I prefer that to be there. Here a little loose too. All right, looks like that are clear. All right, like I said, it's there. Yep. So I'm gonna be doubling this 3/4 inch. I'm gonna put another 3/4 inch on the back side because I don't want to take up the space that I need here for the cabinetry. But on the back side, so that way it has 2 3/4 inch, so it basically be 1.5 inches. So when I screw it in my cabinets, they really do grab pretty good. And I am gonna put a plywood, maybe a 6 inch or a 5 inch on the back side over here, on the back side where the cabinets, the 34 inch cabinets be able to grab, and another small piece up here, a backing, so the wall cabinets could grab here. And then the rest, a 3/4 inch plywood between that 34 inch, another plywood, but that plywood is so I could grab all my fuse boxes, all my DCC, my inverter, because I'm gonna mount them onto the wall. So I need some meat to grab on. So that'll do two purposes. It'll give enough thickness for the cabinets to grab, enough thickness for my fuses and my amps and all that stuff. I'm calling this now, it's gonna be called electrical, or power source station. So that's why I'm gonna be doubling in it. So I'm gonna screw this piece in and now go measure from the outside and put it from the outside because I need more space inside than outside. All right, see you in a minute. All right, as you can see, I got my first one in cut. This one's gonna go in here, and what I'm gonna do is to utilize the whole plywood. I'm gonna go straight plywood up here because it's a 96 directly to the back, to the front is 96. I already measured this. I already cut this to a little bit shorter, 94. And what I'm gonna do, this is gonna get crushed in between the plywood. So I'm just gonna put a few staples so that way it holds it in place. And then that way I could go ahead, and I already made the measurements on here on the top for the outlet, where the outlet's gonna be, and also to where this wire is gonna be, that I have it 37 off the wall and off the wheelbarrow, the wheel itself, this piece right here, from here to here is at 42 inches. So I already would know where to mark it. And these don't need a lot, just a little hole, so I could just run it through. And like I said, I'm only gonna go first the plywood sheet 48, and then I go ahead and make the holes before I put in the other piece. So I'm gonna just staple these in. I wanted to see how it's going back here. So I have the battery right here. Before I didn't know what I was gonna do, so I didn't bring the wood all the way to the corner. So now I'm gonna build a floor here, and I already see that I do have enough for the battery that's gonna be powering all the electrical stuff. So I don't see a need to cut into the Lazy Susan for now. So what I'm gonna have to do is build onto this floor, even with this one. I didn't take that one out. The plywood doesn't reach all the way to the back. So, and also too, this is the end of the van. So I went right up to the end of the van, and then this whole new idea came about. And I didn't take that one out and just make it one piece due to the fact I already had nailed it and glued it. And I didn't want to ruin all that stuff. I just add to this right now. I'll add to this all the way to the edge, and I'll have my floor platform. This is gonna be the backing that I talked about, the niche that I'm creating. I got this double plywood 3/4 inch back to back. One is facing inside the niche, one is facing inside of the van for the cabinetry. So the cabinets now themselves have a backing. I think it's 1/2 inch around the edges. So that's gonna be 1/2 inch plus 3/4 inch plus now 3/4 inch. It's gonna go here. And if I see worst comes to worst, I'll just add another piece right here, another 3/4 inch right here, so that way it can grab really strong. But I already see this is gonna work out for now. This is the one battery that I'm gonna be installing for now. And then since I'm gonna now decided to go with a small refrigerator on this end, this is where I'm gonna basically just put an outlet, put the refrigerator, small refrigerator, enough for like 6 to 10 drinks, I think it is, for waters for the customers. So I'm gonna put it in here. So I built the backing already. Why I didn't go all the way to the top? Because it has a big curve. From that point to that point, it's 48 inches anyways. So that way I just cut it on the long run. And as you can see here, there's a cut. But inside is 65. But from here to the frame, and this frame is 61. So if you cut it 65, how do you maneuver in there? So you have to go 2 pieces. So that's what I did. And then the piece on the top really has a really curve. So that one I might have to do like a template, with the plywood. I mean, with a cardboard. Like I said, not 100% a professional. This ain't my #1 trade. I'm more as a sales guy and a designer. But I'm doing this just for fun and to advance. And because I want to be part of the project of 4-1 Kitchen Cabinets Design Mobile Showroom. So anyways, that's the update for here. It looks good. What I was thinking about doing is I'm gonna box this in right here and create like 3 different niche. So this will be out like here. This will be all in here with the fuses and the clamps all here. This one that is on my electric, see, is already all together. So I was thinking about also too creating a niche or even boxing it in as well. Boxing all this inside, and then the fuse box is gonna go here. I want the fuse box to go here because the fuse box, this one doesn't require a lot. Or I might go with the fuse box at that end. Now that I see it, now that I see that I don't have an issue with the battery. I didn't know based on the battery where I will end up with this. So I did worst case scenario, go all the way to the end, or I could just cut and install right there the fuse box. It'll be a lot easier, the fuse box right there, so I could create a panel. I'm gonna create a flat panel here, then I'm gonna basically cut out and put the fuse box in there. So that's the plan for now. And then the LED outlets as well, it'll be here, so I could do another. So I'm gonna try to do like steps, like 1 ladder, 2 ladders, 3 ladders, and then connect this here. Also too, all depends how the setups. I know the LED controller is last, so that I might put over there as well, and then put the fuses. This is gonna be connected to the inverter, so I can put the inverter over here. Just run a little hole, boom, connect the inverter. I'm gonna put the inverter down here. So I'm thinking about putting battery, DC, and import the 3000 inverter. Battery, DC, importer, and then connect one from the other. But that's the plan right now. It's looking kind of good. It'll be all here, and I'm ecstatic and glad that this battery was able to fit in there. Oh, what I did is I already put the installation in here. I should have done a video of that or a picture. The installation is right on here. I stapled it a couple of spots only so it could hold it. I already did the holes for the for the electrical power, and also too for this one. This one I'm gonna be cutting out for the box, but once I cut it out, then I'm gonna put it in for old construction, the box. But then I'm gonna put it, and when I put my decorated panel on top of here, or my planks or whatever that we decide to put on top of here, this is gonna be sealed inside. This is just for the future, just in case. So I'm gonna make sure I secure it, put it in there, leave it in there. This one is gonna be for the LED. So basically we're gonna have a big panel here, and then with another panel bump out maybe about 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch with LED lights around it, and my decor doors in the middle. That's my plan. It's gonna look hot. And then, like I said, on this side, you guys can see the back. I already did. This is sturdy. Just needs a little bit more screws on this side over here. But it's good to go. It's heavy. I'm gonna put a couple more supports in the bottom on the back side. I just started. So this is where I said it's like 48. So I went with a plywood, just cut the length instead of the width. I kept the 48 because from here up is 60, but then it curves. No, it's 63, 65, but up here to the corner is only 59 and 60 inches. So that one I have to cut the plywood that I talked about outside. But this is where the cabinets are gonna go. And this would be the pantry right here, about 21 inches deep only. The refrigerator going in there. So this would be one of the cords coming in through the bottom and coming out through here. That's what I decided to do after. But anyways, this is the plan. I got this up. I gotta see what I do with those niche, and also too what I'm gonna do with that wall. I'm gonna paint it all black. My wife is out buying the paint. I already doubled this. I did this. Those what I had in my agenda. I gotta put the rubber mats on where the cabinets are gonna go, so that way I could put those. Normally I already know what that would be, because when your cabinets are 24 deep, your side panels is 21 with a return in the bottom that is called the toe kick of 3 inches. So if I cut my cabinets down to 21 inches, that I'm planning to do that to have more space over here, now the bottom of my side panels coming down is only gonna be 18 inches, and 3 of the toe kick, that'll be 21. So I already know that, so I'm gonna go ahead and go off the wall 18 inches, and 18 inches, and put my black mat where my cabinets are gonna sit, and that way I would know. I bought the floor mat that goes on, not sure the name of the floor, plastic that goes on top of the wood, and then the floor, I already had it all ready for the floor guy. But I'm not, the AC's coming tomorrow, so I might just do the plastic over here, the rubber, and I just gotta make sure that the AC guy will use a box here, so when he cuts, all the stuff doesn't fall on my floor. All right, still day 13 of the van conversion mobile showroom for 4-1 kitchen cabinets. So I lost about a quarter. Well, I lose about a quarter, but I lost about a quarter. I got about 27 and a half here and 27 and a quarter down there. So I'm gonna cut it all at 27 and a quarter. I'll be short over here. But we still got another panel that's gonna be the decorated panel that's gonna go over here. That's the one we gotta make sure that we cut all the way down correctly. When I hire a real professional person that has all the right tools and it has a good hand for all this. I'm doing the bones, the graveyard, that it has to be okay, but it doesn't have to be perfect. The other stuff does have to be perfect. So I did hire somebody to help me out with that. So what I did is that I traced this. It's gonna be tough to cut this. So what I traced it, I grabbed the cardboard, I put it on here, I put a marker, and I just trace it. So I'm cutting it right now. And then if I see that it fits in there nicely, I just put it on the plywood, and cut that out. But on here too, what we're gonna do is that all the plywood and anything is gonna go to the bottom, but this is gonna be exposed. But what we thought about, what my wife thought about, we were gonna cover this with like a square box, just a box here, white. And what we're thinking about doing is just doing that, maybe sticking it out maybe a little bit, maybe about 15 inches, maybe go a little bit higher, like this high, about 16. Even though chair sitting is supposed to be about 18, we might go about 16, 18 high and put a cushion and make it somewhere somebody can sit there, because right in front of the other screen is where I'm gonna be doing the layouts and breaking down the price list, the layout, going over the invoices, so somebody can sit here while I show them everything on the TV over here of the price list or the layout. If we're just going over the layout, show the layout. If we're going over the invoice. But it's a good idea what she just thought about, so we can make it about something that is comfortable, 16 to 18 inches high. Not too much that takes away from my doors and stuff. But I think it's a good idea. Anyways, let's give this a try. Look at that. What do you guys think? I think right here a little bit. All right, day 13 is pretty much a wrap for me. I'm almost there. Started cleaning up. Just gotta bring the plywood, the bigger ones that are going here, whatever doesn't belong here, out of here. So the other day I knew that I cut the wood shorter due to that I did the wall. So when you're bringing in the floor, it's harder to maneuver it when you already have extra inches on both sides of the wall. So when I went down, I had some gaps. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna probably put silicone, caulking, or even concrete thing. And basically I did research and it's saying that's not a good object to put in there. They said to put marine adhesive sealant, because since it's gonna be on the edges, so it's gonna be between your plywood and your metal frame of your vehicle, of your van. It gives it becomes like a rubber, so it's not sturdy, so it gives it that movement that you need. They said they use it for a lot of RVs and boats. So I googled it and asked ChatGPT and asked other people, and they said, yeah, this is the best thing to put on to fill in your gaps on the floor because of that, because it's polyurethane sealant. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish my night with filling this up, leave it overnight. The wall came out excellent. I already closed in here. Another correction too is that on the back, I changed it. I know I was saying 3/4 inch because in my mind I was gonna go with the 3/4 inch, but in reality I changed it to half inch, and half inch. So on the front and half inch on the other back. And even when doing that and cutting it down from 3/4 to 3/4, it's kind of tight right here. I actually have enough for my Lazy Susan, a 6-inch cabinet, a deco door, and the box that we're gonna create to cover the wheel frame. So I'm glad that I changed that. And another thing that I'm gonna do too now, it's as I'm going, I put half-inch plywood here, and you can see there's a lot of curves because it's not sturdy enough. The only good thing that on here, I am gonna put another plywood in here. It's probably gonna be 3/4 inch plywood on top of this one. And that one will probably grab to this and grab to the frame that I put in the back. And it'll be very sturdy. And it's only gonna be for the door samples. Even the door samples, I'm gonna have 32. It's not the same as the wall cabinet where I'm gonna have, 6 cabinets over here, 6 over here, real wood cabinetry. So what I'm deciding to do is that I'm gonna go based on putting this here and seeing the feel for it. I'm not gonna play games, and I'm gonna put my 3/4 inch plywood over here. I'm gonna go with that for safety and because